idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. Season 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the worst idea of all time, episode 25. My name is Tim Batt.
My name is Guy Montgomery, and this week we come with 100% more Rose Matefeo.
Hey y'all.
Hey, how are you? There's no fanfare, there's no applause for this.
I'm good. I'm thoroughly exhausted. I don't know I feel like I've been punched in the face. Hi guys. Great. 25. Is this the same ep that I was on last year?
It might be, actually.
Correct. It
Exact
is.
one?
To the very, not day, but number.
You know the biggest difference between last year's episode and this year's episode is that last year I didn't actually watch the film. And this time, and I was very upbeat about it, and today I feel broken and ill.
Last season, you took more of a kind of like a grandiose, holistic look at the whole project, and you were more commenting on that, which was quite welcome because we had gotten a little too deep.
Yeah, well, I was going through a weird time where I was like desperate for something to make me feel better about everything in the world, and I was getting deep into like meditation techniques and stuff, and like into like Deepak Chopra or whatever his name is, and like
that fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Oh no. Sorry. No. What's the other guy? Who's like all like manifest destiny or whatever, and he was
Tony Robbins. Let me stop you there. It's definitely Tony Robbins.
It's Chris Noeth.
No, it's Eckhart Tolle.
Classic Eckhart Tolle.
I am gonna stay with Tony Robbins.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But
and what are you into this year? Are you still getting down on that?
I don't know. I feel like because this year as well, we're both doing a show here in Edinburgh, and that's just getting me down every day. So I'm a lot more broken.
The lovely world of comedy.
I'm a lot more broken this year.
Hey, actually, just quickly, I've just remembered to say, if you're listening to this right now, which you obviously are, Tim and I are going to LA Podfest, and there's this great deal that we should let everyone know about. Do you agree with that, Tim?
I 100% do. Yeah. So the LA Podcast Festival is the
18th to the 20th of
sounds right.
September. Yeah.
And there's all the bloody huge dogs are going to be there. Your Mark Marons and your brothers McElroy and your Todd Glasses.
Yep.
And
your
more.
PFTs.
Your
Todd Glasses.
Tompkins.
Your Lauren Lapkuses.
Pair of glasses.
And we're going to be there too. They gave us a slot.
Was there some sort of clerical error there?
Hold on.
Yeah, you guys have
that's
got
right.
Steady
We've
on,
slipped
mate.
through the cracks.
You guys are like in Magic Mike XXL where they're like, we didn't book you for the convention, and then like Elizabeth Banks like, oh, I'll do a favor for my girl Jada Pinkett Smith, and then they're like, we give you a good slot, we give you a money making spot. That's what happened to you guys.
That's exactly what's happened. We've snuck in and we're dragging a 2.5 hour long corpse with us. Anyway, if you are unfortunate enough not to be in LA during that time, you can video stream the entire thing on your bloody computer or whatever device you use. And if you sign up and use the code word WORST, I feel like this is our first proper bit of doing a spot for something.
Feels odd.
Yeah, it feels really weird.
Keep doing it. Don't cut halfway through.
Well,
to
yeah,
comment
you
on
use
it.
the word WORST, then it only costs you $20, and that's a good deal. And you'd also be part of history because you'd be probably the first person to use a code word as told by us.
Yeah, we get some of that money too, so do it. By all means, do it. Because, Jesus Christ, I cannot describe the chaotic financial situation I'm in at the moment. It is dark and complex.
Let's not bring our real world problems into our created problem.
But
now,
hey,
Rose,
wait, hold on. I just want to say with that ticket thing, it's awesome because you get to stream the whole event, like the whole 3 days of it, and you also get all access to all the videos for 3 weeks afterwards. There, I'm done. Buy a ticket, lapodfest.com.
Wow, good plug-in, Tim. Rose, you were quite a joy to watch the movie with. I've been by myself the last 2 weeks. It was really nice having you here. I feel like you were on board quite deep into the film before the length kind of beat you down.
Yeah, it was the length. It was the length. I mean, I'm a big fan of kind of the romantic comedy genre in general. And I've got a lot of time for it, and I've got a lot of tolerance for it. And I think that that goodwill has well and truly been has dried up.
If you were putting this movie in a genre, say that was your job, you had to classify movies by genre, and not according to their goals, but according to the outcome of the movie, what would you file this under?
Did you hear that click? That was my hip.
Jesus.
Really loud, yeah. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it came through the mic.
Dude, I'm concerned about it. Like,
you should be.
A lot. Should I get it checked out?
No, you don't need to. My knee clicks every time I bend down, and I haven't had anyone look at it, and it's still going great.
Knees
I
are
feel
built
like it
to
might
click,
just
though.
be. Yeah, I'm kind of concerned, but it doesn't really hurt. But my friend said it was fine. Okay, so if I put this in any genre, no, can you ask your girlfriend?
My friend.
Yeah, hey, you talk.
Not even a medical professional friend.
Rose, you keep going. I'm going to ask Zoe if it's a concern.
Okay, so if I had to put it in any type of genre, I'd put it into some sort of weird camp, like it reminds me a lot of, like, I watch a lot of crappy like movies from like the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just with movie stars in it.
Little
was
black
just,
and white movies.
No, they're not black and white in the 60s. Not many of them were really. But it kind of reminds me of that in terms of like this weird kind of obsession with, I don't know, like exoticizing, which is not a word probably, but like this weird travel story, but it's weirdly like, it's so bad that it makes me think it's harking back to the days where maybe people didn't know how to make movies.
You think this whole thing's a throwback?
It seems like a throwback.
It's an inside job
throwback.
Throwback.
Because it's so outside the realms of reality. Like, these are 4 white, rich, bougie women.
I love the word
talking.
bougie.
Yeah, such a good word. Talking about how they couldn't live without a nanny, and eating dates. And talking about, it's so out of this world. That's almost like a science fiction. It's a science fiction film.
You've just given them a pull quote for the movie poster. It's out of this world.
Out of this world.
Rose Matefeo.
It's a science fiction because this could never. I just can't believe that this would happen. But maybe that's because I'm from New Zealand. Maybe because I don't understand America. I don't understand the kind of culture of having nannies and I don't know, being white. Being completely
which
white.
Are exclusively American things.
Like, I'm half white, so I can half relate to this maybe, but
Yeah, so you'd put it under throwback exoticism, maybe?
Yeah, just weird like 60s camp kind of exoticism sort of sitch.
I think we can categorically say it's not a romantic comedy. No matter how badly it wants to be.
Yeah. Which is really a shame because it pulls in those same tropes of romantic comedies in terms of, but just it
misses the main 2 tropes of romance and comedy.
Exactly. And like there's too many characters in terms to build enough of because romantic comedies, they only really can be about 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a good
Actually.
one. Yeah, or some shit like that.
Old ambitious Richard Curtis.
The old ambitious Richard.
Walking into the pitch room with a bloody script with 8 leads. What?
Jesus Christ. And then they all dance the Supremes or some shit. That's classic Richard Curtis. But this is just a whole nother.
Yeah.
It's just a whole nother, like, I'm sad. I'm sad. You know what? Yeah. And I'd hate for this to be lumped in with the romantic comedy genre because I have a lot of respect and time for a good romantic comedy, and I think people throw the baby out with the bathwater. And with that sense, they go, oh, chick flick, because a chick flick isn't a romantic comedy. This is a chick flick. Excuse the terrible term, but it's not. There's nothing romantic about. There's nothing romantic about this movie. It's just about the a boring marriage. Someone. Like, I just can't get over Carrie's boring ass story. Like, how does she even think she's interesting? How does she go through life thinking that her story is worth telling?
That's what bugs me about the ending this week, because the final line is trying to draw the parallel between, like, some people see life as a black and white movie, but when you're in a marriage,
decal your knee quabs.
Yeah,
decal your knee quabs.
when you're in a marriage, you can explore the whole rainbow of colors, whatever the fuck she says. But it's like she's literally done the most traditional version of marriage conceivable.
Totally.
Painfully
and
boring.
Her husband is legally colorblind. He can only see in black and white. We know that.
So it's a very insensitive thing to say more than anything else.
Here's a question, Tim. We're talking about this when we're watching the movie. What are your thoughts on a kiss a married kiss between married friends.
Yeah, you
Don't
keep
tell your
talking about
husband.
that. So what do you mean? Like,
I mean,
if there's
I have
two
not done
sets?
it.
No, I know.
have not done this.
You haven't been married, mate. But are you talking about if there's two sets? Like, is there some sort of
I
quad?
mean, if you see a flame from your past, but you're married, but you have a little smooch, like that was just a little smooch. Like, I'm comparing it to, say, The Big Chill, where one of the characters, she's had a crush on Tom Berenger for like ages, and then they like make out real hard, like down by the dock. But then the next day she just goes back to her boring husband, and it's fine. And she doesn't tell him. And it just happened. And it just happened, and it just disappeared into the ether, never to be talked about again, which is fine. And just don't.
Do you know what?
Just
That's a
stop talking about yourself, Carrie. You
yeah,
know?
I get what you say. The Big Chill's probably like.
I mean, The Big Chill, everyone's fucking each other.
No, I
mean,
guess, but I'm saying like it's kind of a good example of this because if it's sort of for a reason, like that was to kind of cap off a long-winded, story arc of something. You know what I mean? Like it's been built up and then it's done and then you close the
True.
book. If it's just some random you're hooking up with at a bar, but you're married, but you think it's fine, I draw the line there, definitely. And I think,
I mean, I think if you're doing that though, you are like genuinely cheating on your spouse, so you wouldn't tell them anyway because
if
you're a
just
dirtbag.
indulging a crush.
If you want to have a little pick with a fucking crush from your past,
but Carrie,
that,
But I mean, I think the problem with and I hate the fact that we are talking about the movie plot on terms that it wants to be, referenced. But I think it's different with Carrie because her ex-boyfriend is Aiden, so theoretically the book has been closed, and what the kiss is doing is it's opening up the book again. So I would have issues with that. If my lovely
he's talking about
girlfriend Zoe,
opening-
who I asked
Yeah.
before, and she said that your clicking hip is not necessarily something to worry about, her words. If she went
Okay, I was still
smooching
get
some
checked out.
ex-boyfriend who she had closed the book on, I'd be like, that's not cool. Don't do that.
so you're I
but
love.
if she didn't tell you, it wouldn't be a problem.
What if you
right?
popped a little book thong in there? Not a bookmark, but a little string. You can buy them at bookstores. And you pop a little bookmark in there, and you little fold a little corner, just a little tiny fold,
Dog-eared page.
just to see if you want. But what if Tim? What if you just bought a state of the art flat screen television
Yeah.
for your room,
Yeah.
for your anniversary or whatever,
Yeah.
and you're watching black and
State of
white.
the art
You're
black and
watching
white
black and white
flat screen
movies
television.
24/7. You're getting back from the stock market. You're watching a bloody Clark Gable joint, and you ain't giving her any attention. Do you expect her not to give a little smooch to her ex-flame Aiden, who was
Carrie
in my big fat
can
Greek wedding?
get fucked. He spent all day at work desperately trying to figure out through his colorblindness which way's up and down on the stock market, which is so hard to
He
do.
is struggling
Then he gets
with
home.
color blindness.
He gets home from like a super long day. I can only assume 10 hours in the bloody, in the salt
in the
mines.
fish tank.
Gets back, it's Monday. Suddenly, she's been doing nothing all day. Let me say that. She's been shopping for a fucking dress with Samantha. She's been cafeing with the girls. She's done nothing to speak of work-wise.
Do you think? Look, she's a writer. You know this very well. You're a comedian. Like, you have to work in strange work hours.
Yeah, but I would
she's
never
a
feel-
flagging writer.
I
Her
would-
career is going down the toilet.
I would never feel
The New Yorker
entitled
sets up.
to drag someone out after that. Like, if I feel
Question.
so guilty when I have a day that I'm not doing very much that I'll like clean the flat or cook dinner or something.
Do you reckon that Mr. Big has to like pretend that he knows what like his Carrie's outfits are like? Like, that's why he feigns this enthusiasm. He's like, "Wow, I didn't know you were gonna wear something like that." It's just he just can't see any color. He doesn't know what he's looking at.
He only
That's
sees
why-
furry shapes,
Hey,
blurry shapes.
yeah, conspiracy. That's why she wore a tuxedo, which is black and white, and a fucking ugly as shit piece of shit newspaper dress,
She did it for
also
him.
black and white.
also black and white.
She did it for him because then finally he can see exactly what everyone else sees.
No,
for
but
her
he doesn't
costume.
understand it as a problem. He just thinks that's how everyone sees the world. He's like a dog. He doesn't know anything else.
It's
Yeah.
always been the way. Hey, that reminds me actually. So in the limited screen time when we've figured out that Big is under SEC rule because the feds have come in and they were going to take him downtown because he's been committing crimes, but they've just taken his computers to analyze for forensics and left him in there as a mole to take down the bigger stock market dogs, as it were. So he's got this massive leather-bound book on his desk, and we kind of have strong suspicions that is
It's
simply
called Big's big book of ideas.
a big old book of ideas that he's writing away all day in. Anything that pops into his head, he jots it down, writes a little picture.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Is Big a spy?
Oh.
Like in a Get Smart fashion?
Tell me
Where
more.
his office has nothing. It has no computers. It has these screens that are just putting up shit that you don't even understand in the stock market. You don't really know what he does. He's always tired. He could be a spy.
Spies are always tired. I don't remember that being in James Bond or Mission Impossible. Just yawning all the time.
They don't put in that when he gets tired or that he's on uppers the whole time in James Bond because it kind of breaks the cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool about seeing James Bond yawn.
No one wants to see Daniel Craig popping a necky.
I for one, would love to see Daniel Craig popping a necky.
That would be awesome.
That'd be dope. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to grasp at straws to find something interesting about this film. You know, maybe some backstory.
I do think that book is Big's. It's his big plan out of there, right?
Mr. Big's big book of ideas, yeah.
Out of where? The stock market or the marriage?
Everything.
Out of financial trouble, just out of the situation he's in. He's drawing down like prototypes for exciting new inventions.
He's been trying to get on Shark Tank for ages.
He invents a remote with like a bungee cord on it, so when he throws it away, he can bring it back.
That's his big pitch. And Mark Cuban on Shark Tank's like, well, why don't you just not throw the remote away?
No, because it's real
everyone
satisfying.
Has their choices in life.
You got all the satisfaction of throwing the remote away without the inconvenience of it being out of reach. It's fucking brilliant. It's a remote for your remote.
He just loves TV, Big, he does. He loves TV. Maybe he wants to pitch some shows. Maybe he's come up with like an HBO style show. Like a real gritty drama or something that he wants to pitch.
We've also had a theory that Chris Noth, or he's changed his name to Chris Noth, he's a preacher and a life coach working the Bible Belt of America.
Yeah.
So he could be writing down his sermons in there.
That would make it so much more interesting. Oh my God, that'd be brilliant.
I like Big's big book of ideas.
I like Mr. Big's big book of sermons. That's great. Or like spells. Like maybe there's some sort of incantation that can bring out Lazarus from that god-awful crown that Carrie's wearing where she looks like Queen of the Undead at the wedding.
It's absolutely insane. It's absolutely insane. That, like, in no way does that make sense. When you're standing up on that stage, you're like, how are you looking like this?
Hey,
like how...
Rose, I'm keen to hear you describe it. Like, just try and describe it to someone who's never seen it before. So Carrie produces a hat that she's had specially sent to the wedding for her to wear.
Not only this, but she has her hair both, actually triple, curled, straightened, and crimped. Every
Neapolitan,
setting,
she calls it.
every type.
Walks into the hairdresser, give me a Neapolitan.
Yeah, which is ironic because usually in Neapolitan you just scoop out your favorite flavor because you only want one thing because that's how things work. You only want to get your hair crimped or straightened or curled. No one wants to get their hair crimped anymore as well, let's be honest.
Pick one,
but
you're an adult,
it's coming
grow
back
up.
in style. So not only does she have the fucking wackest hair of all time, a tuxedo, which is fine, but although I have a big problem with her terrible delivery of "How's my tie?"
Yeah, that gets me every
which
time.
was it just made me ill. But just that crown, it's not a crown.
Moreover, she specifically says represents Bradshaw. Like she's like the boutonniere may say Preston, but in this box here, this is an embodiment of me
Which
in
is
hat form.
A Bradshaw is something that makes no fucking sense and somehow makes a terrible thing worse. So that's
a
really her
nonsensical
legacy.
thing or person that decreases the goodness of a situation.
It's just I have an issue with all of her clothes in this. Like I don't know how she goes. Like that newspaper dress, honestly, made me so mad that it existed. And like fashion is bullshit. Fashion, like all this high couture fashion bullshit.
Bougie
bullshit. It's just taking the piss. Like they look stupid. Like it's like we were talking about like It's like when which where like it's kind of like a 60s camp movie. And in the 60s they had the wackest kind of fashions where you're like, that's not a hat. That's a weird dress. We'll never do this again, will we? And then you go and watch Sex and the City 2 and you're like, oh no, we're still doing this. What are we doing? Wear a fucking t-shirt, you know? I'm so angry. I'm so sorry.
No, I think it's great. Was there anything you might term as a shining light in this film for you, Rose? Was there any moment when you felt empathy or enjoyed yourself in a way that the movie maybe intended or not?
I still love Steve.
Yeah.
I find Steve the hottest guy in this film.
Yeah, you like his voice.
How you can't come to your mouth sneeze, honey. Your mom's working with him. Oh, that's a man.
Your Steve sounds like he's melting. In the
He's got a touch of yenta about him when you do it right. I'm schwitzing. It's so hot.
But there's not enough Steve to get you through.
It's not. I was expecting more Steve, and I was so gutted there wasn't. Shining light. Oh, Jesus. Okay, shining light. I mean, I have a lot of time for Kim Cattrall. I do. I think I have a lot of time for her.
Yeah. Tim's gone through phases of having a lot of respect for her in this movie as well.
And then it dissipating.
I think. Yeah, I know, but I think she's the one. She's actually the only person out of all of these people whose story I care about.
Yeah.
You know, like I care about her. Like the thing I'm identified the most with, which is really a terrible indictment of this film, and the fact that I'm 23 years old and I empathize most with a woman going through menopause and like just trying to catch a dick. like it's like I don't relate to anything else these women's lives.
That's actually a good point. That's the biggest hook because that's the most like that.
I'm not married. I have children.
Transcends all of the crazy shit about their lives. That's just someone wanting some D.
Those are two things that I'm most like. Those are two things I'm definitely going to experience unless I die before I hit menopause. But that's a really dark thought. But it's like I might not get married and I might not have children, which is the kind of the main storylines of Charlotte and not really Professor Oak, but and Carrie. But Samantha, I'm going to go through menopause. I'm going to feel that, and I'm going to want to get some D. And
an intergalactic time traveling architect who's just trying to get to his home planet.
What we noticed, Tim, is that how those tire tracks just start in the middle of the sand, meaning it's like a DeLorean style time travel machine.
That is awesome.
He burst through a tear in the space-time continuum.
Yeah,
so
he's
suddenly,
like the Highlander.
He doesn't exist. That's great. There can be only one weird, maybe Danish architect. That's
I don't know,
cool.
but I have a big boner in my linen.
What does this sound like? The correct answer is text edit, I think. If someone said text edit to him, he would go and disappear back to his home in a computer.
That is the correct accent.
Is that his accent?
I'm sorry, ladies, for disturbing you in the middle of the video.
I mean, I think he's Danish. I definitely think he's Danish.
Can I tell you something that might not qualify as being a shining light, but fuck me, I enjoyed it. That Rose picked up the housekeeper eyeballing the camera this time too, when Brady's getting a science award. She fucks up that scene so bad because first she just like she looks so enthused that Rachel has taken out the blue ribbon for what is static electricity.
What is static electricity?
And then
Jinx.
And then she looks directly at the camera when Brady's getting his award, but she looks quite terrified as well. I reckon she actually has an inkling of what's coming with Brady the Brat King's eventual domination of New York City.
My shining light kind of ties in with that, which was the idea that when the gals are gas bagging at the cafe and Coffee Guy's doing his thing, Brady's in the background, and Miranda didn't bring Brady or anything.
No.
It's just pure coincidence and hasn't even noticed that her son is at the same cafe.
He's at a different
There's no
table.
reference to it, eh?
Yeah, he's just there, like apropos of nothing. There's no interaction between the two.
He finds it easier to do his plotting and planning in crowded spaces. He likes that sort of white hubbub noise.
I kind of respect that kind of parenting choice, though, over, Charlotte's of, I mean, they both have nannies, but
I think
Brady
Miranda
seems like a
brought
good
him.
kid.
I reckon, like, if they saw Brady over there, they'd be like, shouldn't you be in
Brady.
school? And then he'd be like, shouldn't you harpies be at work? And everyone would agree not to tell anyone else.
Shouldn't you have?
Don't tell Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, God. What does Steve do?
Steve runs spelling bees across New York.
I sell dictionaries.
He's earning a pretty good crust for himself with Steve's new dictionaries. He's actually been trying to pitch Steve's new dictionaries to Mr. Big to put in Big's big book of ideas so that Big will get around to getting on board with him.
Yeah, well, Big's got that whole Shark Tank line because he's a big man in the markets, or he was.
That's how he got Mr. Big's Jaskuzis off the ground.
Man.
The germ of the idea was written down in the book. Mr. Big's Jaskuzis, Rose, by the way, if you don't know. He peddles jacuzzis which are filled up entirely with jizz.
Oh,
with
wow.
room temperature jizz.
Overflow semen.
So-
Just koozies.
yeah, it's pretty
It's a
gross.
snappy name, man.
That's,
There's a lot of jizz though.
it
man.
is at least a snappy name, if nothing else.
What was your shining light, guy?
My shining light was actually, I heard really clearly, just there's certain off-mic lines which you pick up sometimes which are very satisfying. And it was Charlotte, Professor Oak and Carrie when they're walking, trying to get from the souk to the airport after Carrie's found her passport with little to no trouble, because why would any problems present themselves to these people? They're perfect. And she's like she's just giving directions for how they're going to get to a place to catch a taxi, and it's just really boring.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, that's a conversation that people have.
Boring improv.
Like a really shitty realistic offer.
One of my extra shining lights was you introducing the idea of Miranda being Professor Oak to me.
Yeah.
And just the idea, like, do you reckon it'll be a DVD extra of pressing B to, like, speed up the
all of her
text?
lines.
Yeah. No. Hurry up. Just put it on the Pokedex and just move on.
Just give me the town map. I got to get out of here. Someone's got a bike waiting for me in the next town over.
Oh, God.
I've got to go fight your
God.
grandson. Get out of my way.
Scooby-Doo-ba.
Scooby-Doo-ba, ha.
Scooby-Doo-ba-ba, ha.
Skibidi-ba-ba, skibidi-ba-da, ha, ha, ha. Skibidi-ba, skibidi-ba-ba-ba-ba. Skibidi-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Whoa!
Skibidi-ba, ho-da,
Whoa! Nelly.
Boo.
I'm like a bird. Scooby-Doo-ba. What's he doing?
Where's he up
Where's
to?
he off to? Rose, this is a segment in the podcast dedicated to our hero, the bastion of hope in the film, week after week, Coffee Guy.
Yeah.
So you saw him. You saw what he was doing.
I saw him.
Would you like to take the reins and explain what exactly is going on in this guy's life?
Okay. The coffee guy. He's got a big day ahead of him. He has to infiltrate a caffeine group of ladies.
Oh.
Of bougie white ladies.
Oh.
He's got a package. But he ain't delivering it. He ain't delivering it to his final destination. He's got his bag. He's gone into the coffee shop. Oh, un café. Per favore. He couldn't help. He been to Italy on holiday. Mistook the waitress for Italian. He says, "Oh no, I'll just have an Americano. Thank you very much. Big old mug of coffee." She said, "Great. That's going to be 3 seconds." Goes away. Brings him back a coffee. He's nervous. His hands are shaking, not from the coffee, because he hasn't had it yet, but from the sheer guilt of what he's about to do. This man is about to leave a bomb in the very cafe that the Sex and the City girls are lunching.
Holy
with his
shit.
son Brady. He's sitting there, takes a sip of the coffee. He says, "This is too much. I've got to go. I've just got to do it. I've just got to do it. Just do it, coffee guy. Just do it. Do it. You've been told to do this. You've been building up your whole life to do this. Just walk away. Walk away. Walk away." He leaves his bag, gaps it, leaves the coffee shop, and realizes that he took the wrong bag and his apartment is blown up. He's gone back. He couldn't even pay it.
The woman will never know.
The woman will
they
never
were to
know
death.
how close they were. It was to the Abu Dhabi government trying to kill them before they even got there.
I like that.
That is so good. That had
Beautifully
what a
told
lovely
as well.
ending.
Thank
too.
you. Thank you so much.
Well, we're running out of time, but there's one thing left to do.
What?
Now, Rose, I don't know if you're aware of this, but Tim and I are very high-powered movie executives.
Aha.
We've got a lot of money. We're just looking for a good movie that we can get on board with.
Okay.
So if you could please get into character and come into our office and pitch to us Sex and the City 2.
Okay.
How are you going to get this thing over the line?
Oh, cool. Sex and the City 2. Okay, cool. All right. This movie here. Okay, cool. Hello, gentlemen. Hello.
Hello, how did you get in?
Sorry, the security. they
I
said
invited
that
her. Don't
I was-
worry, Guy. I know this woman.
Sorry.
She's a
Sorry,
genius.
actually, no, let me just pull off my giant hat here. Actually, no, it's me.
Oh,
Hi.
hey, it's good to see you.
Sorry, you didn't see me under there. Sorry, let me just unbuckle this belt. Just, whoa.
I no longer think
got
you're a
3 belts
genius.
on.
You're struggling a lot with that belt.
Yeah. I've got 6 necklaces on. I'm going to be honest with you right here. This is not 1 necklace, it's 6 necklaces.
We are
different
burning
ones.
daylight
That's a
here,
I
Ms.
sound like,
what
I sound
was
like
your
a wind
name?
chime. You don't need to know. That's one thing you don't need to know because all you need to hear about is this idea.
I like your boldness.
Pitch.
Continue.
Have you seen Sex in the City? No, you haven't because that's not what it was called. Have you seen Sex and the City?
No.
The film. The first film. No, you haven't?
I have not.
Okay.
Have you? Has my
That's gonna-
associate? No.
Okay, neither have I. So, what I'm thinking is cut the bullshit. We don't need to know anything about these characters, their backstories, whatever. We have a lot of money from the Abu Dhabi government, whatever they're called, the UAE maybe. I don't know. I got an email. They say they have a lot of money.
Mhm.
They have a lot of dates. They have a lot of opportunities for us to film and
you-
film entirely
You're right.
in. No, I'm actually really hot right now. Is it? Can we open a window?
you are
Your speech is
caked in
very
Can we-
laboured.
I mean,
You're losing a lot of fluid. Have some water.
No, to be
please,
honest-
have. I'd be much more comfortable if you
oh
just
Jesus. Okay, yeah. Oh God, I'm not feeling well.
You
But hey,
do not
I'm
look
gonna
good.
power through. I'm gonna power through. Some girls,
Pallid.
4 girls having fun. One's got menopause. One has a
sorry.
baby.
I'm going to stop you there. One's what?
Yeah, one has menopause.
That doesn't sound fun to me. And I know fun.
One-
I went to Yale.
You clearly have not seen Menopause the musical, a musical which I have seen, and it's. Have you seen Menopause the musical?
Could
do
you? Do you know the writer of that? It sounds like they at least have a grasp on how to create something.
Okay, so plot doesn't matter. All that matters, we chuck some girls in some lovely clothes, guys.
Look, I'm.
pop them in a film.
I almost-
Guess what? We make it 2.5 hours long because that's what the ladies
That
want.
sounds terrible, but I want to approve it just so that I can call an ambulance. And
I'm
get
just.
some
I'm
paramedics.
honestly. I'm fine. I'm just honestly just. I feel like I'm burning.
Yes.
Like my heart is burning. Not heartburn, just like literally exploding.
Okay,
in my,
I'm calling a medical professional.
okay, but you will. If you will
We'll make
approve
the
it.
movie.
You'll make the movie if you. Okay, but you can call the ambulance after you make the movie. You agree to green light the movie?
I'm on board.
I am
Get the green
very
light
on
out.
board. This is
If only
this is
to
the woman who
protect you
brought us
from
the
yourself.
bungee cord remote control, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. Well,
Why are we even still talking? Let's make the movie.
thanks, gentlemen.
Thank
you,
you.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
I need some.
Please lie
I
down.
need some air.
Please,
Nice.
kindly seek medical attention.
Oh, well.
That wasn't as much. There wasn't much acting there. I feel physically ill from watching that film.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's long. It's so long.
Hey, well, the good news is you get to go about your days now.
I'm gonna have a nap. Try and forget this experience.
Very good.
Good luck, Godspeed, guys, because this is actually so much worse than last year.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, it is.
It's horrifically worse. Like, I don't know how. Like, I know I gave some inspiring words last year, but
Yeah.
honestly, I'm here to tell you, you guys are in for a fucking shitstorm. Shitstorm over 6 months.
Oh, good Lord. Good gravy. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rose. I can safely say you have improved the experience for me this week vastly, incomparably.
Thank you so much. God bless.
Tim,
Yes.
how you going over there?
Yeah, I'm good. I forgot to mention again, but obviously Guy and I are on opposite sides of the world. You wouldn't know that listening to it up until right now, but it's true.
That's right.
You're in Scotland.
And actually,
I'm in New
this
Zealand.
entire time, Rose and I have been tethered. We're literally
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder.
I've
We're
just-
splitting earbuds.
I just tweeted a photo. Also, I want to point out that I got up at 7:45 in the morning to walk across Edinburgh to come and watch this film.
Oh, God
of all
bless you for
films.
doing it.
You gotta-
And past guest James Acaster kept on waking me up going, hey, you have to get up. Hey, you have to get up in the morning to... you have to get up so early in the morning to go... And I was just like half asleep being like, shut the
that's
fuck
funny.
up.
He punked you good.
Yeah, what a dick.
I would like to say just on the record, Rose bought ingredients and made bagels for the start of the film. It was honestly incredible.
I did.
While we've got you, just a reminder, LA Podfest, if you want to stream it, video stream it, please use the code word WORST.
It gets you money off.
and
You get a discount. It's not just for shits
you
and
get- you
giggles.
get a
You get
discount.
$5 off.
The money you get off, we pretty much just intersect and take that.
But that doesn't make any sense because you pay less. So I don't
Yeah,
actually
no, it
know how it
doesn't make
works
any
out. They're running a very shonky business model. I think they've been consulting with Big on how to make the numbers all get together. But either way, it's happening.
book of
So
ideas.
get in there.
Great.
That is 100% correct. You can follow Rose on the internet at Rose_Matafeo. And
Matafeo.
F-E-O.
Means kill the ugly man in Spanish. Well,
And also, you can see her and I. We're sharing a stage every day here in Edinburgh, if anyone's listening, and in town. 4:30 at Espionage. It is tremendous.
let me awkwardly get into your pictures with Guy Montgomery after the show.
And if you're in Auckland, I'll be opening my one-man show simply titled A Man Apart in a few hours. So come to that. Whenever you listen to this, it'll be going in a few hours from then. It's just going to be on a constant rotate micro naps.
Tim has cleared his schedule and is at the mercy of anyone who wants to see the show.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You knock on the door 3 hours later, you've got a one-man show from me. So how about that for a deal?
That's right.
You've just got to
Heavily
find the
scripted,
theatre. That's the
written
hub.
in between you knocking the door and him performing it. Well, hey everyone. We've said watch the movie in the last few episodes. If you haven't watched it, don't do it.
Yeah, don't. We only said it
Come
in
full
one
circle
ep,
on it.
and then we took it back in the next step. And I
No, I didn't
wanted
fully
strongly-
rescind it last week, but you did.
I did on your behalf.
Yeah, that's right. You overruled me. Anyway, see you later, fuckers.
It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all time. It's the worst idea of all